Okay, welcome to everybody to this workshop on, it's a Q&A, also a live Q&A on forgiveness, betrayal, and then also how to surrender control, which it really isn't, it's a surrender, but it's really learning to work in conjunction with your spirit guide with regard to your body, how you see your body, what things do you say to it? Do you judge your body? Or are you cheering it on, saying, good job? And I get it. I've been through this too, guys. So here we go. All right, I'm going to jump in. Um, Again, I want to reiterate the guidance on this workshop was just like, do it now. We are getting to a point with, as you guys know, we follow the Schumann reports where we are creating so much momentum as a collective. The 5D grid is fully in place, and now we're all acclimating. So one of the things I want to say about that, because a few of you have reached out to me and said, I feel like I'm behind. You can't be. So if you are even aware of your own self-realization or your self-awareness process, you're on the 5D train. It's if you're on the 3D train going, look at those morons, you're not, okay? So if you have zero awareness, or you're not even trying to figure out the truth of who you are, or why am I really here? And you're not acknowledging all the truths that are being pushed forward, you are not behind. You can't mess this up. So the fact that, especially if you're here right now, you're on the right train, the love train. And so you can't mess it up. There are varying degrees within each dimension. So in the 5D, there are varying degrees. And what happens as we're acclimating is there's still these echo energies that exist from the 3D. That's what's happening now, what comes up. And some of you, and I get it, man, you get tired. I'm tired of clearing. I'm tired of clearing. But just so you know, the big heavy lifting is being done by our support team. And so I'm hoping that today will give you guys, give yourself some more grace and some space, and know you cannot fall behind. You cannot fall behind. All you need is that desire to say, I know there's more. How can I, right? How can I heal? You're interested in your own healing. And so I just wanted to say that very, very important. We don't need to compare ourselves. Everyone's journey is different. And here's a cool part. With a lot of the healing is happening in the quantum space. There can be somebody that was completely unawake yesterday, and they can come into full awareness now. And some people in your life are there to help you awaken. So I'm going to touch upon that too. All right, I'm going to jump in. We're going to start I want to start with the energy, right? Because when you look at this from an energy perspective, everything that I teach, I sense energy and I can see energy now. And when I first started this process, I couldn't. I could always sense energy as an empath, but I couldn't always see it. And now with all of these upgrades happening with I have a deeply heightened sensitivity to it, to the extent that if I'm talking to someone, I can tell if there's dirty air or not coming from their field. And so the energy point of view is very important in healing and forgiveness, and dealing with betrayal, dealing with the body. Okay. So very important to keep in mind that the soul's perspective is, we are all love and light. The truth is, we are eternal light beings. We're eternal light beings focused into a human body, right? So when we talk about things like betrayal and forgiveness, know what that is? It's our blessed who man. The who are you man? It's our who man wanting just, wait a minute, why did this happen? How can I feel better? You owe me an apology, all of this stuff, right? All that dialogue that happens. So here is the most important question in this process. Are you looking for closure? And let me know in the comments, because this is real. We're going to get down and dirty here. Are you looking for closure, or is your goal acceptance, neutrality, just feeling the peace? So let me know in the comments, because once I see, what you're dealing with, I can better address it. Okay. I see someone, okay, after years of purging, I still have issues with feeling safe in the world, hypervigilance since childhood and feeling safe to be seen and heard. Ah, yes, there was a whole generation that literally the collective consciousness around being seen and heard was don't, don't. I was always told that. Just be seen and not heard, heard and not seen, all of the above. And here's the thing. So if you experienced that in your childhood, particularly, and what happens is if the energy is not healed, it keeps presenting itself to you. So that becomes your projection. Okay, this is, I'm to be seen and not heard. And so how you experience it in your reality unknowingly is that it's going to keep being recreated until you heal it. So how do we do this? So, okay, great. Yay. I see peace, acceptance, neutrality, acceptance and neutrality. Yes, this is always what we want. Always, always, always. And I'll tell you why. And I had to bring this up because in the 3D and separation, what do so many people still? I need closure. No, and I want to show you why that does not work. And because here's the main thing. If somebody apologized to you, I'm telling you right now, you still wouldn't feel good because ultimately what you do want is that peace. Okay. And I get it where you go, oh, an apology would be nice or some kind of restitution would be nice. Why did this happen? So we're going to dig into all of that. I do have, so I'm going to share a screen really quickly. I'm going to show this. This is a ladder of emotions. Let's see if this is going to show. Boom. Okay. Let me see if that comes up. There's like a delay, so I'm not sure. Okay. I think you're seeing this. Let me know. This is a ladder of emotions. And I just wanted to point this out really quickly. Oh, it's coming up. Okay, good. So you see at the bottom, what's at the very dirt bottom here? Guilt, shame, powerlessness, depression, right? Then you've got hatred, jealousy, revenge, fear, anger, discouragement, blame, right? Then now, this is an important one because this is a gray area where I find a lot of people can kind of get stuck on the wrong side of the tracks here. Pride, desire, pride. Are we trying to make anybody proud? Forget that. That's a 3D separation thing. Because then you're trying to earn love, right? So pride, desire, irritation, worry, and frustration. Everything from that orange line down is all fear-based. So everything above that, acceptance, willingness, courage, hopefulness, all of those are heading towards, you see, joy, appreciation, freedom, and love are all at the top of the emotional scale here. So this is important to point out because it's really good to understand how you got to the point where you were seeking this forgiveness. So in the 3D and separation, we defaulted completely to our fight or flight mind, which I call it the crap gap. And I do that to make it dramatic so that when you have a thought, do you recognize where are you? So are you choosing from your head or are you choosing from your heart? If you're in the past or if you're projecting forward in the future, oh, this is going to happen. You're in the crap gap because you're in the history files. Our history files were created under the false matrix of the 3D to keep us all in separation. In 5D, that is gone. Not only is it gone, it's gone in the 3D. The foundation for that has been cleared. That is what the ascension is all about. We are ascending to a higher level of consciousness where all of these low level fields of consciousness have been blowing up. Now, to understand this, the process of what happens so when you get into forgiveness, for example, it's really important to appreciate the journey of what happens so we all know we have parts that become fractals. So if you have a trauma, right, or an incident with someone or people's, you create these parts, right? And those were created in the fight or flight, which was in survival mode, right? So the survival mechanism in our minds, in our consciousness, got so out of whack and so unbalanced that every situation became we were being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. So that's what kind of perpetuated that feeling of helplessness. Just went over and over and over. And so it's very important. I'm talking about your energy. Okay. So in this moment, this is what we ask ourselves. We know all of you, pretty much everybody said, I want acceptance and neutrality. Oh, great. Okay. And I see some of you are experiencing anger. Fantastic, because I'm going to get into that. There's a lot of anger brewing right now. And just we're all right. I'm going to get through this one piece, and we are going to attach. Thank you for your honesty, by the way, because this is how we got to put it on the table. We got to see our truth, feel it, feel it and heal it. This is how it goes. And by the way, when I practiced these techniques, when I first was practicing, this was before the matrix was dissolved. I was doing it in dense energy. And so it's a process, and you just need to commit to it, but you're going to be committing to it with all of this supportive energy. All of our guides and angels are supporting your journey, your healing, these parts. So don't put too much pressure on the who man. The who man, just your acknowledgement alone is going to help you accelerate your own healing. Okay. So I think I was briefly going to talk about how these parts get healed, because this can give you some of that relief you're looking for. Like I know a lot of people, have been to therapy even, and what you're doing is if you're repeating the story, you're staying in that energetic. The healing does not occur in that energetic level. The healing occurs from a level of love. Okay. So, and I know you want to say, like, don't they know what they did to me? So this is what happens when the parts are all out there for healing as part of the ascension process. Your personal spirit guides, the angels, the archangels are heavily involved. Source creator is involved. All of it, which is you on the inside, right? Remember, you have a higher self. So they surround the part because we are transmuting everything for good. We do not want to recreate the old matrix. So your human doesn't do this. It's consciousness, it's your spirit guides, the angels surround that part, and they allow them to look at it and say, there's a learning experience for it to truly be healed. In addition to that, whether anybody who, if it was family that was part of the situation, whether they've transitioned or not, does not matter. Their soul is brought in too. Everyone witnesses the learning. So it's not this, they're going to pay, or, you're going to get yours when you transition, get ready. That's not how it works. It's always, always, always handled with love. And when we get into the habit of that's how we handle it here in the Who Man, that is when you've embodied your soul. This is when you've embodied your higher self. This is what this ascension is all about, for us all to go back to the heart and understand the power in the healing and never creating it again. So that is one piece of the puzzle I wanted to add. So here are the questions you ask yourself. If you're dealing with let me see, I'm seeing frustration. I better peek at the comments here. Okay, I struggle with frustration, having to forgive and move forward when linked to someone and circumstances that cause backtracking. Okay, sometimes it feels like the other parties are pulling me down. I'm so glad you wrote this in. I'm not glad that you're experiencing that, but we're going to try to help you shift that today. So here's these questions. Keep these 3 questions right in front of you. Okay. Why am I denying myself love in this moment? Okay. Because when you're leaking energy, when you're giving your power and saying they have power over my well-being, over my peace, over my sovereignty, they do not, is the truth. Now, I get it. Without the tools, you don't feel empowered. So question number 1, why am I denying myself love in this moment? Number 2, what am I creating in this now moment? This is massive. We are in 5D full-on creator mode right now. When I did this work, when I did my forgiveness work, the shadow work, we weren't in this full mode. Was I already a conscious creator? Yes, I just didn't know it. Okay. So right now, it is critical to keep saying to yourself, what am I creating in this now moment? So if you got an energy leak and you're giving your power to the person or perpetrator, perpetrators, you're staying in that energy. You're not in the healing. You're not in the love. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to get there. I promise we're going to get there. Okay. Hard when you can't see. Oh, yes. So Sean brought up a great point. We got to learn to trust our guides 100%. I get it. So, oh, they are. Okay. He asked why. I love these questions. These are great. Why can't they just surround and heal? Here are the poopy people. They're not poopy people. That's one of the things. So the soul's perspective is that we're all light beings having an experience, right? And remember, we can't choose. They awaken in their own divine timing. And some of the poopy people are here to wake us up. That's why. We had these soul agreements and they said, no, what? I'm going to push your buttons until you can't take it anymore. So that, remember, we are healing. We're badasses. We came here to heal ancestral, like from the beginning of time. Yeah, we're nuts. I get it. But that's what we volunteered to do. That's why you are here. So we raised our hand and said, I will go forth. I will heal it. And know what we did too? We picked the most difficult, awful energy and experience that we thought we could handle in order to awaken. So understand that some of the very people that you think are like poking you, they wanted you to say, wait a minute, why am I here? Is this backpack full of rocks really worth it? I'm telling you right now, you want to ditch, we got to get rid of these backpacks ASAP because we got bigger fish to fry. There's more important stuff going on. And so I'm going to repeat the first two questions and add the third one. Why am I denying myself love in this moment? What am I creating in this now moment? Like that's your mantra every day now. And then nothing is more important than my heaven on earth. Why? Because we absolutely have to start behaving as the conscious creators that we are. And so the beauty is that when you decide to participate in the healing, you now open your guides they're going to help you feel it. You can't feel support when you're in low energy. So if you're in anger, guilt, shame, frustration, right? Those are below that's orange and below, as I showed you in that earlier chart. You are not in a state of love, which means what? They're screaming. You can't hear them for where you're at because of your frequency. So this really is about where is my energy? Am I in this now moment? If I'm in my head, am I in the past reliving it? Or if I'm in the future projecting more doom and gloom, I'm in the crap gap again, which means, my brain's trying to tell me that I'm being chased by a saber-toothed tiger and that this is never going to end. Then here's what happens when you stay in that energy, by the way. So say you wanted an outcome, right? You wanted somebody to accept you. I see acceptance is a big one here. Say that, you want someone to apologize for what they did to you. If you try to heal something on the same energetic level, say they apologize, say they say, you were right, I was wrong. Well, when you heal it on the same energetic level, you did not ascend to the love. You didn't ascend to love, so you didn't heal it. Because now know what happens? You got the apology. And then know it, the noodle says, how long is this going to last? I don't know if this was sincere, because the fight or flight system that is a gerbil wheel. It's a gerbil wheel. It's you don't get off of it until you step out and go, wait a minute, I need to see this another way. I need to see this from a higher perspective. So if you got everything you wanted from that person's, whatever the situation is, but you were addressing it from that lower energy, you then go from wanting to get it to force and effort to get them to do it to defending yourself from losing it. It's a gerbil wheel. Or you can go to plan B and be a conscious creator and say, Why am I denying myself love in this moment? What do I want to create in this now moment? Okay. So I want to see some of the comments, and then I'm going to give you guys the verbiage of how do we attack this, right? How do we participate in our own healing? And I can't even stress to you enough how much support there is and how quickly you can start to feel the love when you complete these exercises. And for some, it's going to be a repetitive process. Why? Because the noodle's going to be, you're putting the noodle in the unemployment line. You're going to say, oh no, I'm just ready to let go of this backpack. The noodle's going to go, oh no, wait, we need closure, right? Or we need. So just having that foundation and the awareness of where's my energy. Now, remember that wherever this issue is, you have stabilized yourself in a specific energetic around it. So now we're going to stretch that. We're going to stretch it and go, no, know what? I am coming out of that lower. I'm going to come and meet my higher self on this. I'm going to choose my soul's perspective, which is we are all love and light, incarnate, having a human experience. So one of the examples my guides gave me, and they give this to me all the time, is if picture the person who did you wrong. Picture the person who did you wrong as a baby learning to how to walk. So they're crawling. Oh, you're not screaming, going, get up, man. You know you can do this. You see me walking. Don't use the coffee table. You're cheating now. Wait, what? Why are you crying? Because you fell. Let's go. Let's walk, right? This is literally energetically what is happening when you're trying to get someone to apologize, trying to get restitution, all of these things, right? So you like either the need to be right or the need to level the playing field is all a part of the separation. It's to keep you in separate. And think about it, it's done a good job to this point, keeping that person separated from you, hasn't it? So very important that we have an awareness around how are you viewing the other person. They literally are tuned into a frequency where they can't see or hear or feel your perspective, and vice versa. And so we get tied up, and I want to understand why this is happening, and it's not happening to you. It's not happening to you. And I used to call BS on this one all the time. Like, how did that happen for me? And I'll tell you, when you do open yourself to the higher perspective, you see that point immediately, and you're able to really just appreciate every single situation that comes your way and go, okay, I see why. And remember, we're clearing not just for ourselves, also the collective. And I know if you guys are here, that many of you are light workers and way showers and spirit and gifted spiritual leaders. And so, you know, it's really, really important for us to come from a space of love and light. And, and I want to help you guys ditch these backpacks, like we need to dump them. Oh, only backpacks with love are coming on the love train. All right, let me see. Okay, yes, self-judgment. I'm going to get into that. Let's see if I'm missing, get stuck trying to. Okay. Okay, great. Steve, thank you for bringing this up. I get stuck trying to get everyone in the situation to feel acceptance. I know I can't control how they get there, but it hurts that I can't bring others into it. I know that I can't, but I feel. I got you. I got you on this one, Steve. And this is exactly, we can't decide. It's not your job to convince them. Oh my God, did I bloody my forehead on this one, Steve? I'm right. And then I was like, okay, I think it's safe to assume that this is not working. Like, oh, well, I have all this knowledge now, and so I'm gonna help them see it my way. No, I'm listening to the love train station. They're listening to the this sucks station. So they totally can't hear it. Not only can they literally cannot perceive it. Absolutely cannot perceive it. So the work here is never, ever about them. It's always only about you. And I'm telling you, it was the biggest revelation that I had in my own personal growth, was saying, oh gosh, it's not my job to change them. and I can't. But here's the wild thing. By me maintaining, when you maintain and hold yourself in a space of nothing but love and light and just bring love and light to you, you actually can inspire them to change. But that's not why you're doing this. Because if you have an ulterior motive that revolves around changing them, you're still in that energy. You're still going, oh, I'm going to try to make a guest appearance on the Stinko channel in my higher being self. I'm going to make it a guest appearance, a cameo on the Stinko channel. No, if you go to the Stinko channel frequency, then you can't let go of the backpack. So I hope that helps. Let me see. Trying to hold my space and not react to the negativity with negativity. I usually remain silent and imagine a little hug and don't react. That's a start. I'm glad. I like this comment. Tell you why. Okay. Very important. Avoidance. I used to think that worked too. I'm just not going to go near these suckers. They're not going to ruin my day. I'm not going to go near them. I'm not going to talk to them, blah, blah, blah. But instead, I'm just going to put a fat rock in my backpack with their name on it. And I'm going to drag it around, avoid, 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 avoid. Oh, how come this doesn't feel like love and light? Why? Because I see their name. I see an email. I get triggered. Somebody mentions them. Oh no. Well, you've taken it on. You've given away your power. That's an energy leak. Okay. So just know that you're healing and the whole situation, yes, the whole situation can heal by you taking control of your own energy and going back into full love and light. And I know that sounds, the noodle doesn't want to accept that because the noodle is still running from a saber-toothed tiger. So, I hope that helps. So when we hold space, you hold the space for yourself. And then you can just say, okay, this child is learning to walk. This person is totally unawakened. They can't even hear me. Like, accept they can't hear you. That's level one of the acceptance. They can't hear me from where they're at. So now I'm going to give you okay, this is the verbiage that I used in forgiveness letter. Okay. And this applies to anyone or any situation that you need to forgive. You'll be able to fill in your own stuff. I'll get to that. And then for anybody, by the way, any of the stuff I'm sharing today, if you want in written form, I don't have a way to drop it in here. I will just hit me an email. My email is in the YouTube description. Send me an email. And just on this one, this is the forgiveness letter. So we're calling this the forgiveness letter. So here we go. So, oh, you're very welcome. I love you guys so much. You have no idea how badly, if I could personally, look, like, this is how, if I could personally grab all these backpacks for you guys and chuck them and go, let's get on, I totally would. But I understand I can't do that. But I can be here and share with you my journey, which is why we're here. So I do love you guys. And I love you guys for being here and taking this move towards your own healing and just accelerating your own integration process. So here we go. This is the forgiveness letter. Okay. So dear whomever it is. Oh, by the way, if it's multiples, yeah, I had to do mom, dad, and a couple of others. Separate letter for each one. Separate letter for each one, whoever, whatever it is. So dear whomever, I desire a deep inner peace. Why are we saying this? We are saying this because you are looking at your soul's perspective, which is what you really want. You don't want an apology. You don't want closure. You want to get to inner peace. You going from conflict to peace. Okay, very important. So, dear, fill in the blank with the name. I desire a deep inner peace. I've been carrying this backpack full of rocks and I'm really tired. The things that I'm most upset about are, and here's where you get your pen rocking and rolling. Get it all out there. Everything. You did this. You didn't do this. You didn't support me. You didn't listen to me. Like anything that like boom comes in. This is where I'll give you permission to go into the mud, because we are presenting a package to be alchemized. So put it all in there. Okay. I'll start from the beginning and then I'll keep going. Dear, fill in the blank. I desire a deep inner peace. I've been carrying this backpack full of rocks and I'm tired. The things I'm most upset about are, go to town and start listening. Now, here is where you're going to begin to shift your own vibration and shift to the radio station you want to be tuned to. Remember, ascension is a self-realization process. I'm a self-realization guide. I'm an ascension guide. So this is the realization that you want to have to promote your own healing and to push yourself forward. So we're listing the things I'm most upset about. I now realize that you acted in a way and did your best given your own level of self-awareness at that time. Okay. I now realize that you acted in a way and did your best given your own level of self-awareness at the time. I forgive you for your mistaken perception. So A Course in Miracles, people, this came from A Course in Miracles when I was studying it, and I studied it every which way. It is very important that those are your words. You're not forgiving them for the act. Remember, this is a baby learning to walk. This is an unawakened soul. It's a wounded child, essentially, that did this to you. So they didn't know any better. And don't let your noodle tell you they did. They didn't. They weren't in love and light. Remember, at our core, at our soul, we're love and light. So I now realize that you acted in a way and did your best given your own level of self-awareness at that time. And it may be now, at this time. Make it appropriate. I forgive you for your mistaken perception. Period. Period. We don't bring forward the rocks. Then I forgive myself for my mistaken perception. I am choosing self-love and handing this situation over to my guides, my higher self, the angels. Please transmute all of this back to love. That's your letter. And I already told you how your soul, your consciousness is healing. The angels are a part of it. When there's like deep stuff, like the energy around betrayal, that I was shown this, and it's so beautiful that they really surround it. And it's interesting because some of the parts will even talk back and say, I didn't do anything wrong. But the beauty is they're shown the truth. They're shown again that they are light, love and light, and that there was no reason for the action that they took. All of this action was taken out of fear on some level. So that's the forgiveness letter. Very important. Now, you can make this your own, but you get the gist of it. The key thing here is forgiving them for their mistaken perception. And really, that's where you come into not denying yourself love in the moment. And what do you want to create in this now moment? If you want inner peace, and write down, make my goal in this situation, and you will be shocked at when you hand over any situation where you need to forgive people. Sometimes I'll have something come my way and I go, whoa, where did that come from? Okay. Right now, if you can't see it with love and light, that's okay. Hand it over. We've got cosmic concierges waiting for us to hand it over and say, I cannot see this with love and light. Like right now, I want to rip someone's eyes out. I want to spit on them. I want to shoot them with a water gun, whatever it is. Right. So whatever that reaction is, remember, that's your fight or flight. Oh no, they're coming at me like a tiger. So I need to like tiger up back at them. No, you just go, okay, wait, I'm not feeling the love. I'm not feeling love for myself right now. I'm not creating love right now. So I'm going to hand this over to you. Please reorganize this and help me see this through a lens of love. And then you just forgive yourself for your own mistaken perception. So that is, let's see. Okay. Oh, I love the question, Robin. Okay. So that's general forgiveness. I do want to get into, I am going to talk a little bit about The betrayal energy also, but that was a consciousness, like quite literally. So if any of you felt suddenly like, oh my gosh, why is this betrayal coming forward? That literally was just coming to go, hi, I'm on my way out. Okay. So you understand that betrayal stems from all parties were in fear. All parties were energetically in fear. I just recently kind of avoided because I followed my guidance, avoided a situation where there was a betrayal situation, but I didn't even have to look at it that way because I was shown the fear and the action. So see, when you get tuned in and you clear the dirty air, you see the truth of a situation, and then you take your best action. It's always your best action. You got to let go of all the players in the play and just focus on your own energy. So I hope that that helps. So this is a really great question. Robin, I see this a lot. She says, yes, how can I grow in my ascension process and my awakening without feeling guilty from all the years of my Christian religious teachings telling me this is not the light when my soul tells me it is? Great question. The truth of who we all are is our soul. Now, here is how I help my clients navigate religious beliefs. Take the part that connects with you. That's about love and spirituality and loving yourself and loving each other, right? We know that feels good in your soul. Anything, and I mean anything. I don't care what it is. I don't care what the religion is. That's coming from fear. Like I was told, if you do that, you're going to hell. Do that. I mean, oh my gosh. So basically, if I open the door and start my day, I'm going to hell. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to throw caution to the wind then and risk hell and go live my life. And I had to denounce a religion. Like both of my parents were like really, really dogmatic but really also hypocritical with some of the stuff that they were putting out. And I just went, no, that's not me. And I really did choose my own spirituality at the time without knowing it. But then and this may relate to what you're feeling too. When I became a young adult, then I just was like, oh, I think the label's atheist. Cause then I was like, oh, wait, because I was taught, that my creator, my source, my God, whatever word you want to use, was tied to that religion. That's a lie. We are, we are source creator imagined into a human. So I had to like wrap the noodle around that. I had to just let go of that and say, wait, I'm a creator, and recognize that you you do not you do not lose your connection to your soul. You do not lose your connection to source. It is impossible. Even while the whole time we were sleepy, it was inside of us. It's in your heart. So it's within. Everything we're looking for is within. Everything we're looking for is within. And, the guilt comes from the threatening messages. If you don't do that, if you don't listen, not only are we eternal light beings, like we're just about to start having some fun here, right? All we need to do is let go of these backpacks. And I'll tell you, all truths are being illuminated right now. And if you notice, I have been getting more. I would say about 3 months ago, I got like 4 or 5 clients in a row, private clients in a row, that were struggling with this exact issue. And all I said is, how do you feel? How do you feel about what you were taught? We're feelers now. We're intuitive, amazing, powerful beings. So when you close your eyes, put your hand on your heart and take 3 deep breaths and say, I know who I am. And then read whatever it is you think. And then you're going to know if it's your truth or not. But if it's a fear thing and it tells you that if you act a certain way, you're less than, no. Our souls only see the perfection in us. God only sees the perfection in you. Source creator only sees the perfection in you. And what we're going into in the 5D is just seeing the perfection in each other. Oh my gosh, finally. Stop with the separation. You're all divine, amazing beings, and you're badass warriors because you chose to be here at this time. So I really hope that helps you. Anything that, you know, remember, they did the best they could. Whoever fed it to you did the best they could because that's what they were taught, right? And there's so much misinformation around this, and but you can forgive yourself and you can forgive them. And I'll tell you, just feel, is this true for me? You're gonna know. Okay. Let's see. Are we ready to jump into I'm gonna get into, so is anyone in here? I do want to talk about the body because let me tell you, a lot of us have like a shadow here and don't realize it. Like if you go by the mirror and go, oh, what's going on there? Right? And by the way, our bodies are changing like so much. But also I have found that with all the ascension symptoms too, some people are going, oh, like you get mad at your body, like why aren't you behaving in a certain way? So I want to share this process. Now, this is the one I mentioned in one of my videos. There's a woman named Nook Sanchez, and I studied A Course in Miracles through her. She has a lot of teachings online, blogs and stuff. And but what I did is because she came from a deep, I think she had deep religious teachings, but in a healthy way, right? Because she took the truth of what she believed and carried it forward. So for me, though, I wanted to approach it just from a spiritual, literally I'm just like I just need my spiritual message that I can relate to. So this is how I chose, and you can again augment any of these as they resonate with you. So I'm going to talk you through these again. These, if you need these, I will email. For anybody that missed the part where I said if you need the forgiveness template, it's a template. I will all you do is shoot me an email and just write forgiveness template, boom, and we will rock and roll it. So let me go into this because I love this process. And quite honestly, I love redoing this one too. This, so when we talk about wellness, I unknowingly chose at a certain age, I just said, I'm never getting sick anymore. Now, here's what led to it. I used to get, and I can say I used to get because I'm not recreating it. And then I'll share this. I used to get bronchitis every March, and I would be like, oh, and the last time I had it, it turned into pneumonia. And I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm never getting sick again. I am never getting sick again. And the following March came around. Huh, I was okay. Then I thought, oh, let me play with this. And I mean, I'm going back like over 25 years ago when I started playing with this. Now, I was only applying it at that time to that one certain thing. Then I started doing stuff like, let me try this with fingernails. I hear people say my nails never grow. Stop saying it. I used to say my hair never grows. I mean, now it's like freaking Rapunzel. And even the girl that cuts my hair is like, what did she do? She thought I went behind her back and got like hair extensions and stuff. Whatever you say, if you say my body does this over and over and again, guess what? Your souls are going, okay, here you go. Oh, you want bitter, crappy nails? Here you go. Oh, but this never grows. Okay. So it's really interesting how much power we do actually have over our bodies. So I just want to share that. But in the wellness department, I literally kept, anytime somebody said to me, I remember when I was 28, somebody said to me, when you're 40, your eyes are going to go, you're going to wear glasses. And I was like, why on earth would I? No, why would you say that? But see, we all picked up all of these age things. I stopped with the age counting thing too. I was like, you know what? I'm not growing up. I used to say, I'm never growing up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Get over it. And like, even I remember my last year, my birthday party, some people were like, how old are you now? And I go, I don't know. Here's the year I was born, do the math. Because I really took a hard stance about this, that why are you telling me my body's going to fall apart? It didn't make sense to me. I'm like, so we're going to line up everybody that's 40 and jack up their eyes. And then we're going to line up everybody that's 50. And I don't even know what the jack ups are at that age. 60. Oh my gosh, you're almost dead. Like all this crap. It's a lie. And it's really about the belief system. And I know this now for a fact, based on what I have been shown, that your belief system really does dictate what goes on in your body. Now, I'm not saying that anybody got sick on purpose. Okay. I want to clarify that. I'm just sharing with you my experience and what I did unconsciously, and that now stuff that I'm able to really push forward. And I am playing with this stuff big time. And, and I do it on myself first so that I can then share the experience and help you guys. All right, let's get to this letter so we can keep you guys rocking and rolling, try and keep everybody close to on time here. Here we go. Okay, someone asked about How can I stop my own negative self-talk about myself? I want to love myself. I want to love my body. Okay, great. Perfect timing. We are good. We're all going to do this exercise. And here we go. Let me share this part. Okay. And I'm just sharing it mainly so that I can read it. Don't worry if you can't read it. I'm going to go through this. We're going to do this exercise together, and then I'll supply it with anybody. Yes, age is just totally just a number. Okay, here we go. So the body is nothing but a projected image with the ability to change of its own accord. All changes in the body are directed by the mind, which is really, for me, it's actually directed by your soul. Okay. As long as we think we're a body, in other words, if you think you're just the who man, right? We already know we are light, we are source, light creator projected into a body. So as long as we think we're a body, our body is used by the ego, which is the crap gap, right? The fight or flight. This way, the unconscious guilt is projected onto the body, so it suffers and quote unquote dies. This is the ego's extreme deception orchestrated to hide our true identity from our awareness. In this ascension process, we're remembering the truth of who we are, which is we are love and light. We're eternal love and light. And we've been here many times. And this time, we're putting an end to all this crap. Okay, so that we can create and have fun. So, how have you allowed the ego to use your body for unconscious self-attack? You cannot heal until you see it and willingly join with your spirit guides to exchange the self-attack for miracles. Miracles, P.S., are normal. They're normal. We were another part of separation was the miracle. Oh, it doesn't happen to me. It can only happen to so-and-so, right? Johnny down the street got a miracle, but I'm not going to have a miracle because they're really hard to get. No, work with your spirit guides. You don't need to feel them. You don't need to hear them. They hear you. They are chasing you down the street, trying to keep you on the train track here. So we work with spirit guides to raise our awareness of all the ways where we've unknowingly abused ourselves. Perhaps we've abandoned or betrayed ourselves. As you realize these betrayals, you may feel sadness or grief at the recognition that you've abandoned yourself and body. This is good. And I'll tell you, the first time I did this exercise, oh my gosh, I really did. I was crying over what I was like, oh gosh, what did I do to my body? I really just couldn't believe it. How much, and by the way, I didn't think that I was being mean to my body. I thought I was like really killing it. And then I found out, oh, okay, there's some tweaks here. So again, let me catch my place here again. Okay, so again, as you start to realize, remember the realization is bringing it up to be healed, to go with it. So you may feel sadness or grief at the recognition that you've abandoned yourself and your body, and this is good. And you may want to sincerely apologize to the body for scapegoating it. After all, you unfairly blamed it for all the things it never did. It was never the cause of pain, illness, appetites, addictions, sabotage, or anything else. Yes, it was all energetics. We unconsciously created it in the crack gap. Okay. So you see how important the energy and the awareness of where am I in this now moment and what do we want to create? Now, by the way, when this was written too, this was before the false matrix was dissolved again. So this worked in density. So you can imagine the power this has now. Okay. So now I'm going to read a series of questions here. So consider each of the following questions carefully and write your answers. Please do this exercise without guilt or shame. If any guilt, criticism, shame, or self-judgment arises, know that that's just, what is it? It's the noodle. It's the crap gap. It's your fight or flight, and it's not spirit. Spirit only sees you in your perfection, fully healed. Okay, I'm going to rock through this so that we can then get and see if there's any questions. And I want to try and keep this close to an hour. Okay, here we go. Here's some of the questions. How do I abuse the body? How do I neglect it? How do I deny it? How do I use it to guilt trip myself? How do I use it to guilt trip others? Okay, I'm going to stop here quickly. Here is where I see a lot of this. Look at my owie. Look at my Owie. Because when you're little, when you stayed home from school, didn't you get love? So guess what? If you don't heal that space and think that that's how you get love, as an adult, you still play Look at my Owie. Yes, bless you all. You do. So that is a way that you unknowingly, remember, it's only mistaken perception. You're unknowingly using guilt, using it to guilt trip others because it was used in childhood to gain attention, to gain love. So we don't earn love, we are love. Okay. How do I use it to get my ego's needs met? Ooh, good question. How do I abandon or betray it? Okay. Any negative self talk, any judgment. How do I use it pridefully? Remember where pride is on the emotional chart? Remember where that is, right? It's below the love line. Okay. So if you're saying I have to be proud of my body, that's that's like a invisible pitfall. How do I use it for self-attack through pain, disease, aging, and accidents? How do I use it to demonstrate scarcity? How do I use it to defend myself emotionally or physically? How do I use it as a substitute for true self-love? How do I make it an idol? Good question. How do I assign it power over my own mind? How do I judge it? How do I blame it? How do I shame it? How do I make it my identity? So those are the questions. Again, I really recommend you could shoot me an email and I'll send these to you. And really just have this is a heartfelt discussion that you have with yourself. And then what we do with this from here is you take your answers to your spirit guides, and then you go through this atonement process, which which I'm going to attach. And it really is, it's a guide it's a guide to teach you how to speak to your spirit guides, if that makes sense. So the atonement process is a longer one. I'm not going to read through that here because it's really that is the step that you take after you go through these questions here. So those are the processes. Again, we have the forgiveness letter. We've got the one for surrendering your body over to your soul, gaining control back really by working in conjunction with your spirit guides to run your body. And that's a two-parter because there's an atonement process that follows it. It is all spiritually written. This is what I used to get to a real place of inner peace, especially with the body. Again, there's so much happening with the ascension. I mean, crazy. I've been shown things like our faces are going to become super symmetrical. Like if anybody's ever, if you really look, you can see there's some asymmetry in your face. So apparently that's one of the things I've already noticed, like total changes in my eyes, like a brightness and like more like cheekbones coming out. Like I've already seen changes in my own face. So it's cool. And it's all part of us becoming a higher, going onto a higher timeline. But the key message here is time is of the essence to heal these things. Now, so once you've had a chance to digest all of these things, so I've scheduled for Thursday a 1-hour workshop. It's going to be a private Zoom. The energy exchange on this one, we're literally going to work on forgiveness. If you have one that you just can't let it go, if you really, really feel like you're stuck, once you've gone through this process, rewatch the video and you still feel stuck, it's going to be at 12 noon Pacific time on Thursday. That'll be August 1st. I am going to post this and it's going to be an energy exchange of $49. Now, for those of you who just participated in my retreat, because you just did that just a couple of weeks ago, you have a special, just email me if you want it. I'm doing that. Your energy exchange is going to be $29. So for anybody that wants to really dig deep and be able to like really converse back and forth on a private Zoom meeting on Thursday, that's going to be available to any of you. Here's the thing. The tools I just gave you can push you to that point. But I do want to support anybody that is still struggling because right now, again, don't worry about being perfect in this ascension process. The fact that you're looking for help says a lot. You're already into your self-realization process, you're not being left behind, I promise. No one's actually being left behind. Those who are at the 3D train station, they still have full access, but it has to be their choice. My email, I can tell it right now too. It's also in the channel description, but it's easy. It's Patty, Patty, at thepositivityinfluencer.com. But it's also in the channel description. Okay. So before I sign off here, first of all, thank you for those of you who were vulnerable enough to share what what you're feeling and what you're going through. Thank you, because it really helps everyone. It helps everyone. Self-judgment, self-love, for those of you who need it too, there is making yourself a priority. That is a video available in the channel that's in here. And you can do these exercises when you are doing any forgiveness process. Put your hand on your heart, take 3 deep heartfelt breaths and say, I know who I am, and begin from there. Don't begin from the rage or, wanted to rip someone's head off. So I love you guys so, so much. Thank you for being here. I will be doing a quick Schumann update, but you kind of got the gist of it. Is, hey, by the way, more light is coming, and the purge is on. We had a little blip this morning that was all really release, release, release. So the timing of this is perfect. And I want you guys to let me know how you're doing. Let me know who's chucking those backpacks away and freeing yourself up, so that more love. By the way, when you let it go, the space gets filled with love. So who doesn't want that? I'm in. All right. See you guys soon.